Okay guys, so I'm gonna go get my ice fishing trailer and start unpacking it today. I thought I'd take you guys along, getting the fever, the ice fishing fever. So let's do it. Okay, so the trailer's out in the pasture here, so we'll go say hi to the cows and grab it. There we have it. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this snowmobile. I think I'll just leave it out in the pasture, let the cows give it the sniff test. Picked it up last summer, thinking I'm going to make another track sled. So we'll get that out of here. Heck, you know what? I think I'm just going to drag it out with my skidster. Easier than packing it by hand. It's been a while since I fired it up. We'll see if it's got some juice. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got the glow plug going. So it's definitely getting colder, guys. Remember we were fishing mid-October last year. Okay. All right. So I learned a long time ago with this girl I got, out of sight, out of mind is the best policy. If she saw that thing sitting out there, I'd never hear the end of it. So here it's behind my building. She won't even notice. It's great. Okay, there we have it. These cows are pretty mischievous. They'll get out if I give them a minute, they'll take it. There we go. Let's get to work. Okay, so now we'll clear a spot. See if this thing will start. Of course not. Let's see. Okay, one of the things I'll show you I did the other day, got me some Harbor Freight floodlights, and let me tell you, they are bright. My daughter gave those to me for Christmas, I think 2 Christmases ago, and I finally got around to putting them on. They are bright. I got to get my winch going. Anyhow, just kind of wanted to take you through what the plans are this year to get prepped. I'm going to set the tents up in the shop here so that we can leave them up for a while. There's the dolly I pull my camper with. We'll just get it out of the way. Okay, so we'll just start unloading this stuff. The old Glad Light. All I hope every year is that the mice didn't get into them, and usually doesn't happen in this trailer, luckily. Just a whole bunch of junk. These are some sleeves for the Ice Seeker camper. Hole covers. Little 5-inch nails with the Milwaukee Fuel mud mixer. Works pretty good. No sense going empty-handed. This is a little mini buddy heater, the tiny one. It's got room for 2 propane tanks there. And my heater. Bibs. More bibs. Coat and some boots. One stop or one shot skimmer does a good job. A spud bar. This is a spear I got last year at Shields for some northern pike. Hopefully we'll get after that at Fort Peck this year. See if we can spear some pike. This is the 10-inch nails. My buddy made me this hole cover deal so it doesn't fall down the hole. I just welded on a Milwaukee adapter for their hole saws and stuff. It's got a 7/16 head and it's real hard steel. So it's been going for years now. That way I can have a quick release on my Milwaukee hole hog that I drill holes with. Alright, so I used to have a Gen 1 propane auger. I liked the Gen 1, except for one reason. Their fuel system sucked. It absolutely sucked. So I sold it at a yard sale, lost money on it, and ended up seeing this on Facebook last year. I think the guy wanted 100 and a half, and this is the latest version. And I couldn't pass it up. He sold it for less than a couple of sets of blades. So one thing nice about these, they don't have the tons of power, but they got enough power to get you, through any ice we get, 2 or 3 feet thick. Like I said, it's not going to rip through it, but what I do like about them is they start right away. Just 1 or 2 pulls, boom. So that's why I had to get back into the Jiffy Market. I swore I'd never buy another one from them because it ticked me off that they used us as guinea pigs on their system here. But sometimes that's the way it goes when you buy the latest and greatest. So anyhow, can't pass that up. 150 bucks. All right, now we're getting close to the moment I've been dreading. Oh, just taking this resort out. Yeah, those are my jaw jackers. This old resort is a beast. No two ways about it. Oh man, that thing will make you think of taking up golf. Holy smokes. Okay, now we'll tear into the tents and see what we see. Feels good to get these out again. Really good. Okay, so basically I'm going to go through both of these tents, make sure I have a few things in each one. I want to have a buddy heater, 2 hoses for each tent, because I've had hoses fail on me more than once. Just ask my buddies, they're always picking them up for me. So buddy heater, 2 hoses, propane. I want to have tackle, an assortment of tackle, which I do have these little boxes that pretty much covers the gamut of everything. That way if I forget something in the truck or forget it at the house, I'm loaded for bear, ready to go. Have rod will travel. So this one I'm going to try to get some rods that'll live on it this year. Just some general purpose rods for trout, up to lake trout. This one here is my burbot setup. When I'm camping on the ice, I'm usually fishing for burbot at night down at Flaming Gorge. So I'm going to try to get the rods in the sleeper that are set up for burbot. Other than that, I might go ahead and put some floor mats in each one of them, especially the sleeper. I cut out some foam last year. That'll live in there. What else? Oh, lighting. I always want to have a lantern. I use Milwaukee lanterns, 18 volt. I want one in each tent, no matter what. So that way I don't need to pack my lanterns every time. I'm just ready to go. All I need to bring is batteries and bait. So, and of course, fat pills. You got a cookie jar in the day tripper here. Got a little basket that we put our fat pills in, all our snacks and drinks and whatnot. So everything looks good so far. The mice don't seem to have gotten anything, but we'll get in deeper and check it out. This little tent here, I just need a regular buddy heater, the little buddy. On this one we use the big buddy. You could probably get away with a little buddy on this one, but it is quite insulated and does pretty well. But some of those nights, boy, when the wind kicks up, even the big buddy can struggle. So that's kind of the way we go there. So in the past I've shown you the inside of these tents. I've got this little pouch that Clam makes, and it's just nice to have your staples in there. You know, I've got sunglasses and chapstick, knives, cigarette lighters, Advil, more cigarette lighters, a headlamp. Headlamps are huge. It's always nice to have a headlamp. I'll put one of those in each tent. Good pair of sunglasses. I never go without sunglasses. But that's just nice. This is a nice padding case right here. It's a good place to put your cell phone if you don't want to have it on your person when you're going down the trail. You just throw your valuables in there, a camera, a cell phone. It's got some good padding. Keeps things safe. On the day tripper here, one thing that I like on both my tents is this this little rope here with carabiners. It's made by Night Eyes brand, and boy, it is just handy. In fact, a lot of times I'm just stealing these carabiners to use somewhere else in my trip. So, but you can hang all sorts of stuff here: gloves, your drinks, whatever has a handle on it, you can hang. You get these little Christmas trees here. You've seen. I call them the Christmas trees. They're usually not flat like this. This one usually is perpendicular to the top one, but I just twist them and flatten them out. so that they fold up in the tent nicely. And they will just bear a ton of weight. I mean, you can hang anything you want on those. Let's take a peek in this tent. Looks like we got a little moth there. So we'll just lift this up. So as you can see down here, we've got that tackle box I was talking about. Got some rod holders, drink holder. Drink holder for me is huge. Grandma Irma used to tell me I always had a drink in my hand. I've got my poles to my tent, and then behind the seat there I've got a rod case that I put in there. But yeah, that tackle box down there has just got 3 different boxes. It's got little stuff like tungstens, small jigs, then I've got spoons, and then I've got like jigging wraps and the bigger stuff for lake trout and walleye. So let's go to the next tent, see what we got in there. Okay, so in your sleeper tent, you're pretty much gonna have the same setup, that clam bag there with the same stuff, the staples we talked about, toothbrush even, and toothpaste in this one because I'm always spending the night in there. Down in here, just kind of a place I can throw some rods and knickknacks. Got the Scotty rod mounts built in right here. Same ones on my boat, so I can put in rod holders. I'll show you how they work if I can find my rod holders. Let's see, where's the rod holders? I think the rod holders are usually in there, but I stole them for a different setup, so one sec. Okay, so basically this is just a rod holder I built. This is out of CPVC. It's got 7/8 OD. As you can see here, I've just notched the front of the pipe on the top there and the back. Just kind of carries the rod. You got room in here for your reel to hang down. And with this being 7/8, it fits right into those Scotty mounts. Boom. And that just, when I sit down there, just perfect height to grab that rod and set the hook when you're getting a fish. So a lot of times I'll throw those in here, and life is good. Another nice thing, Clam makes these tables. These are just little pop-up tables. This one happens to be the square one. They also make a round one. I always like to set that up over my propane bottle so I'm not wasting space. Here's an important tool. This is a collapsible shovel. Rapala makes it. It's just a snow scoop, and I've used that on more than one occasion to get myself out of a pinch. So for my bedroll, I just use one of those cots Cabela's makes for hunting. You've seen their wall tents and stuff. This just fits perfect in here. Not the most comfortable bed, but it's certainly better than sleeping on the ice. So in here I store my Big Buddy heater. Right next to it will be a propane bottle, 20-pounder. So I usually take 1 or 2 20-pounders out with me on multiple day trips. Then I can just burn it up. So got more Scotty rod mounts over here, and that's about it, guys. So we still have the Christmas trees in this tent. Let's see, it got hung up. So of course we got the Christmas tree in this tent, one on each side, and then we've got that Night Eyes carabiner deal again. Last year, I forgot about this. Last year I made a rattle reel that just goes on the bars, and we actually caught a fish on that last year. I just took some pieces of ABS and put some holes in it and glued it together and put some string on it and put some bells in the middle there. Threw it on one of those little squeeze clamps. So that's kind of fun. It's always fun to get woken up by bells ringing. Another important item is these hooks. These are just frayable hooks, but anybody makes them. They work pretty good. Oh, I failed to mention this. This net here, Auger makes. That's just great to throw like your sweatshirt up in there, or a t-shirt. Doesn't do a bad job. They do make a basket system that I used to have on this other tent, but I sold my other version of this and went a different route. I still might get that basket because that basket was nice. I'd usually throw my gloves in one side, some donuts in the other, and maybe a coat in the third pocket. But anyways, that's just a quick overview. I'm not sure how detailed this video is going to get, but I just want you to know I'm getting the bug, I guess. Hopefully you guys are getting the bug as well. I can't think of anything else that I normally pack in the tent. Of course, you're going to bring lots of different things with you on the four-wheeler and different things like that, but that's something we might talk about in the comments. You know, what do you bring here? What do you bring there? Pretty much talked about sleeping. I bring a 40 below bag in this tent, just a mummy bag I got back when I was a Boy Scout leader back in the day. I've had it since I was probably 16 years old, and it's still doing great. It's a little Slumberjack 0 degree bag, actually minus 40 I said, so it's always done well for me. I usually will take just a nice comfy blanket from home. That's always nice to fall asleep to out here on the ice. Probably the most important piece of equipment in the tent, I think, is those Milwaukee lanterns. Nobody uses them. I've seen a couple guys, but usually my buddies are using them because they've seen mine. Most guys, not all of us of course, but most of the guys that have gone cordless drills are running Milwaukee. So for 59 bucks, I think, you get this lantern. It's got 3 different light settings, and it just lights it up. One reason I do like an Auger tent over, say, a Clam or a lot of the others, I think Clam's changed their deal, but these Auger tents are got the gray interior, and I'm telling you, it's so much easier to light up than my old Eskimos. My old Eskimos were black, and you could pour light onto it all night long, and it just was always dark in the tent. I click the switch on that light right now in these Augers, it just lights it up. And just, the gray is an excellent color to have in here for those purposes alone. So when you go looking at new tents, if you're looking at buying a tent, I would say make sure to get a lighter colored interior. I can't tell you how much less you use on your batteries when you're trying to light your tent. So just a thought while I'm thinking about that I'd share. Anyhow, I like these new Auger tents. They've got the side doors. I won't always be using them, but it's nice to have the option. I know I see Eskimos come out with some, and so has Frevo. Actually, the Eskimo I'm thinking of is their hubs. They've got the hubs that don't have the little part on the bottom that you can trip over, so that'll be nice. I might look at getting one of them, because I do like that design. Let's get fishing, guys. Winter's coming. I know it's pretty early to be talking about this, but last year I was on the ice, I think it was the 15th of October, up on the hills, and down here I went out to a reservoir 7 miles from the house and caught that big walleye. We caught him on 4 inches of ice, and a couple of weeks later that ice was gone, because right after we had a cold spell it just warmed right back up again, and c'est la vie. In fact, I don't think I ever fished that reservoir again last year. It's like, what's the point? I caught a 31.5 inch walleye, why go back? So you're not really going to beat that. Not in the same year, I wouldn't think. But anyhow, let's just call that what we're doing today. Luckily, it doesn't look like the mice got us. A lot of guys will throw dryer sheets in to keep the mice at bay. I've been really lucky over the years. When I put them in that enclosed trailer, it just seems to be rodent proof. So if you don't have that option, definitely recommend some dryer sheets. A lot of guys will use mothballs, but to me those things just smell terrible. I'd almost rather smell a dead mouse. So, but I try not to ramble on too much more, but I just wanted to pull these out today and kind of take you along. For those of you that stuck around this long on the video, you must be having the same fever I've got. I don't think there's a vaccination for this kind of disease. So we'll see you on the next one. It's gonna be a good year. Tight lines.